Welcome to Credit Josh YouTube channel. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Take it over, Josh.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Josh with Credit Josh for personal credit. I know it's been a while since I put out videos about personal credit. I'm going to let Steve take it over. He's the CEO of eCredable. So with all that being said, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and pay attention because you don't want to miss this information. So with all that being said, take it over, Steve. Thanks for joining us again.
You bet. Thank you. I appreciate the time, Josh. So today I'd really like to talk about how we help small business owners with their personal credit. As you know, when you're just getting started out in particular, you may have to live on your personal credit for quite some time while you're building your business credit. So focusing on personal credit to make sure that it's the best that it can be is just going to be super important in the early days. We help a lot of young startups where the owner, the founder of the company, their credit may not be in the best condition, or they may have very limited credit. And so we've built a product called eCredable Lift, which can help some of those people. What eCredable Lift effectively does, it allows you to include accounts you're already paying, bills like phone bills and utility bills, and furnish that to your credit report at TransUnion, which will directly affect your FICO scores and your Vantage scores. As you probably know, those are the scores that lenders use every day. And so it's really important to know that when you sign up for eCredable Lift, simply by linking your phone and utility bills and having that included at your credit report at TransUnion, that's going to have a positive impact on your reports. So the people that would benefit the most from using eCredable Lift are going to be people that are new to credit. They have very limited credit history. So if you're a recent immigrant, it's the perfect product for you because something as simple as linking your cell phone and getting your cell phone reported to TransUnion can help you get a FICO score virtually overnight. Now, you're not going to get an 800. It takes time to do that, and it takes a lot of positive accounts to do that. But at least if we can get you into the mid 600s or high 700s, even getting started, that's a good place to start. What we've seen with people that link their accounts with eCredable Lift, if they can link 3 accounts with up to 12 months of on-time payment history, we can get them to a score in the lower 700s virtually overnight. And that's pretty powerful. That means you don't have to go get a secure credit card or become an authorized user or take out a credit builder loan, or there's a lot of other ways to build credit. And I'm not saying don't do those things; those are all helpful. But if you're in a big hurry, the fastest way is if you're already paying utility bills, go ahead and use eCredable Lift. And so the way that Lift works is you just sign up for it. It's only $24.95 a year. It's not a month, that's a year. So it's practically free. And what we do is you come in and you link your mobile phone account, your power account, maybe your water account. We can link all your utility bills, which includes your gas, power, water, and waste accounts. And on the phone side, we can link your mobile phone, landline, internet, cable, and satellite TV accounts. So there's 9 different types of accounts you can limit for this one price. And then we send that off to TransUnion to be included in your credit report. And so that's how Lift works. It's pretty straightforward. It's one of those products where you kind of set it and forget it. Once you set up your eCredable profile and you link your accounts, it just runs on autopilot. There's 2 huge advantages to what the way that we built the product. The first is we gather up to 24 months of prior payment history. So if you've had an account open, maybe your cell phone, you've had it for a couple of years, we go and get up to 24 months of history, whatever's available on the builder's website, your provider's website. We go and get up to 24 months of history and put that in your credit report. That's a big deal because payment history is a big factor in determining your credit score. If we could only get 1 month because you just got your account, it's not going to impact your score nearly as much. So that's super important. The other thing that's important is that we update the score every month. So every month we log back into your account and get your current payment history and send that off to TransUnion. And that's important because if you don't update an account in your credit report, it dies. It just fades away. Over time, it has less and less value. And so in credit scores, recency of update, updating with recent months of payment history is super important. And so that's very important. So
if I can interject there, just because I don't want to forget these two things. The eCredable Lift for the personal credit, just to be clear, you guys, this isn't just for those that say are trying to build business credit. This is just for personal credit. So you don't even have to have a business, this is just for personal credit,
Yeah.
So, it can be a tool to help you, for business credit for ones you say have to personal guarantee. It's just, one little extra tool. And Steve, also, you guys do this completely different than the traditional way that you guys see a lot of these ads on, probably come across my channels quite a bit, that like Experian Business Boost, where you're actually logging into your bank account, and that's how they're getting the data to report and stuff. The difference between like you guys, I think you guys, if I understand it correctly, you guys are getting the data directly from, say, the vendor, the power company, or the cell phone company, and that's how it's being reported, because you're getting that direct authentication from that particular personal vendor, and TransUnion's trust in you that you've collected that data to report it correctly.
Yeah, that is correct. People come to us all the time and say, "Hey, what's better, Boost or Lift?" Well, they're both good. And what I mean by that is that if you sign up for Experian Boost, it will only affect your Experian credit report. So that means that lenders that use Experian credit reports could benefit from that. Same with eCredable Lift. We only affect your TransUnion credit report, which means that only lenders that pull your TransUnion credit report and credit scores from TransUnion would benefit from that. And so I think it's important for everyone to realize you need to have the best reports and scores as many credit bureaus as possible. Unfortunately, Equifax doesn't allow this today. They might in the future, but they don't do it today. The other difference between the approach that we took, and Josh, you kind of highlighted this, when we started, we considered asking users for access to their checking account. And this is 3 years ago, so it might be dated, but a lot of people said, "No, I'm not going to give you access to my check. I don't know you. I don't know your company. I don't know what you're going to do with the data. I don't want you looking in my checking account." And a lot of people are nervous about giving other people access to their checking account.
I think that's still a stigma. I think there's still a stigma around that,
Yeah, there is. And anyway, it caused us to go down a different path. And the path that we went down was, we said, well, let's just ask for access to their utility accounts. If you think about it, if you give us access to your cell phone account, what's the worst we're going to do? Pay your bill? It's there's not
exactly.
There's no downside here, and so that's what we wanted to do to help people do that.
What happens if they're late or something on, say, say they had a T-Mobile or AT&T personal, cell phone, and a couple months ago they paid late or something? Is that gonna, some people may not want to sign up because of that? Is there going to be a problem? Is that going to be a problem for? They shouldn't do it because of that, or
you absolutely shouldn't do it. We tell people right up front, if you're a late payer, don't use eCredable Lift, because we report the good news and the bad news.
But they can choose also which ones. Like, so
that's right.
They're only late on, say,
let's say you always pay your cell phone bill on time, but maybe you're not so good on your water bill or your power bill. You don't have to link those accounts. You have control over which accounts we report to TransUnion. And as a matter of fact, if you've linked an account and now you know that you're not going to be able to pay that account on time, you can unlink it, and we'll just stop reporting for you. You have
that history is still there.
The history is still there. All that good positive history is still there, but now we're not going to harm you with any late payments. And why that's
they have to think about how powerful that is. I mean, people don't really realize, but how powerful this feature that you guys offer, how powerful that really is, especially for those that are in binds right now because of COVID or whatever situations, lost their jobs or whatever. But, especially with you guys with TransUnion, there's I know who pulls through different bureaus, and TransUnion and Experian tends to be the two that are pulled the most through a lot of these high limit credit cards and stuff.
Yep.
And TransUnion in particular, well, I'm not going to name the name, but what everybody tries to go after, get this high limit credit card. Hey, TransUnion, eCredable reports to them, and maybe report some of these, and you may be only off by 15 or 20 points, and that can help you,
Yeah, exactly. So then, Josh, the other product that I want to talk about real quickly is it's called LiftLocker. And so eCredable Lift is really designed for someone that all they're trying to do is get started building credit. They want to report their phone and utility bills. Let's get a credit score and then just start building on that. Well, once you start building on that, the things that you're really going to focus on is how do you optimize your credit score? How can you make smart choices so that as you add things to your credit file, you get the most benefit for your credit score? Well, in order to do that, you need to use a credit monitoring tool. And there's a lot of free ones out there. We know that. But the tool that we chose to partner with and create a product called LiftLocker includes the benefits of adding your phone and utility accounts to TransUnion, in addition to monitoring your credit report and credit scores from TransUnion, your Vantage score. And so LiftLocker includes the ability to not only monitor your credit, but also to manage your money and your credit all in one app. By managing your money, you do have the option there to link your checking account or credit cards or savings accounts or 401ks. And if you're the kind of person that wants to see all that in one place on one dashboard, where you can just see everything happening in one place, that's what that tool is designed to do. It also includes some of the features that some people like, which deal with budgeting, setting goals. If you're on a home buying journey, it has a very sophisticated and powerful educational tool to help you understand exactly what you need to do to get credit ready and mortgage ready before you go and attempt to apply for a mortgage. And in today's environment, it's hard enough to find a house to buy. But if you can find a house to buy, you want to make sure that you have the absolute best chances of getting approved if you apply for a mortgage. And so that's what LiftLocker is designed to do. Help you understand how to build good credit, how to make your credit even better, and then how to use that credit to apply for things as complex as a home mortgage.
Okay. Yeah. So real quick, one last maybe question on there. Is there anything that you guys, like, for instance, on the eCredable Lift for the personal credit, anything that you guys cannot report to TransUnion? Like this may be a completely different service, because I've heard of other ones that have this, but like say like rent reporting or something. Is that something you guys offer or no? Or
so we don't have it today. We're building it, and
okay.
We will have it hopefully by the middle of this year, because for a lot of people, rent is the biggest payment they make that they're not getting credit for, and so they like to be able to do that. Rent reporting is a little bit more complicated than just linking to your phone and utility bills, but we are building that as we speak, and hope to be able to share that with you the middle of this year.
Nice. Because I know there's some services out there, but that's all they do is just that.
Right.
So if you guys are, in the process of being able to eventually offer that, then that's great, because you can kind of handle it all under one, dashboard. Unlike, I think everybody can resonate with this, is like, hate having so many different logins and accounts to have to go through and check everything, so it definitely, I think this is something that is a lot of people, I think, may not know about, and they have that stigma about the Experian Boost, because they advertise so heavily about that. And this eCredable Lift is not really heavily advertised, but I think it's TransUnion alone is one of the ones that you guys know from what I speak about with personal credit, is Experian and TransUnion are the ones that a lot of these high limit credit cards, that's who they're pulling. So, it can definitely help. Now, I'm sure we'll have to talk, off camera about this and stuff, but I'm sure just like Steve was able to do for the business side of their business reporting, some type of discount for our viewers, but the link will obviously be in the description below when this video gets published. But Steve, what is the cost for this for both of these products?
Yeah, so the retail price for eCredable Lift is $24.95 a year. So it's pretty affordable. And for LiftLocker, which has a lot more functionality in it, that's $9.95 a month.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, it's always surprising, especially on the bit when we did the business interview, like how cheap you guys are per month and what you guys actually offer. It's amazing, you know, how you guys are able to do that with such, low amount of fees. Because I mean, like some of the other ones out there, yes, there's Credit Karma that's free and stuff, but they don't obviously offer this. But I can't think off of hand of any other ones that actually offer this besides Experian Boost. That's the only thing I can think of. There might be something else out there, but even just to see your scores and stuff, you're going to be paying, you said $24 a year. You're going to be paying that usually a month, for the most part. But like I teach everybody, you have to do this on a strategic way, and it's very important to focus on, even if you're just only wanting to do personal credit or business credit or both. You can work on both at the same time, and it's important to take advantage of, even if this eCredable Lift can boost your score even just 5 points or 10 points. It's worth it. Each FICO point is one step closer to approval. I mean, believe it or not, there's some thresholds that you won't get approved for a credit card just because you're just, say, 5 points too low, and I think it gives the lender more history if you're reporting your water, your power, your gas, or your mobile phone, your landline, your cable. I think that gives them more transparency. Have you noticed that, Steve, at all? Have you guys done any research at all on that at all?
Oh, yeah. Well, I think, so people ask us, Josh, why do you do just phone and utility bills? The reason why we do that is because those are the accounts that directly affect your FICO score and your Vantage score. We chose, we chose not to attempt to link accounts that don't benefit your score. For example, people say, hey, can I report my car insurance? That's a monthly payment that I make. Well, insurance doesn't affect your credit scores. It's not included in the calculation of your credit score. So there's no point in us asking you to access your insurance to report to TransUnion because they couldn't use it. And so we wanted to focus on the accounts that directly impact your credit scores. And that's why we go after the accounts that we go after. And if you're a lender looking at somebody's credit report, the worst case scenario is that you don't have a credit report, because then the answer is no. But if you have one and it's just really limited in terms of the information that's there, they want to see as much information as possible. And of course, they want to see the best score possible. So this kind of information is definitely good for the lender, for the consumer, and obviously for the credit bureau.
Yeah, and if you have like 4 out of these that they have listed here: power, gas, mobile phone, cable, water, waste, internet, landline. Say there's only like 3 of those that you have. It's still, I think, worth it, because you showing that history, believe it or not, in my personal opinion, I'm a credit guru on the business and personal side. I used to, run a credit repair company. I know how this all kind of works. And a lot of these underwriters, when they look at these accounts, the more information they can see, the better. If you just have a few secured cards, that's great and everything. But if you have a few secured cards plus like this eCredable service, it kind of gives them a picture of like how you're paying your bills. And believe it or not, a lot of people don't pay their electric bill on time. I mean,
Yep.
it's a very common occurrence. Or pay their phone bill on time. So if you can show that, I think it's more powerful than you may think. So um, it's definitely something that I will definitely be having some of my personal clients definitely sign up to use. We'll talk off camera and stuff, but Steve, I think we can offer just a slight discount, but there's only so much, we can do with that because look how cheap it is, you guys. It's cheap as it is, and they're giving you so much for that. And if you guys have any questions too, put it in the comment section below and we'll do our best to answer it. And I can always pass on your information to Steve to get something if you have like a detailed question, but I think it's pretty straightforward. But Steve, is there anything else that we didn't cover, I guess, on this particular subject?
No, I think, it's just important. I think most people, when they think about their personal credit, it's usually pretty straightforward. The more positive things you can put in your credit report, the better your score is going to be. So that's just a general rule of thumb.
That, and a lot of people are spending $200, $300, $400 for these authorized user accounts. These accounts are getting shut down. There's the new FICO 10 coming out. Lenders are starting to slowly better use it. We don't know when that's going to be fully adapted or not, but lenders aren't stupid. They can see through those authorized user accounts, especially when it's like addresses that's going to be on your report is one's in Florida and then say one's in Ohio and you're out of Ohio. It matches up, and plus they're quite expensive and they know you're trying to game the system. So it's becoming less and less, useful and stuff to do. It's fine, I guess, if you're on, say, your spouse or your father's authorized user account or something like that. But when you go out and you're trying to manipulate the system, why not try to do it the right way? Because even those authorized user accounts, you typically have to pay like an arm and a leg, $200 to $400 for just one, and then it's after 1 month it's closed unless you keep on repaying it. So it's quite expensive. Why not do something like this where it's actually showing good positive history? Of course, Steve can't guarantee how much it's going to boost your score up, but it definitely can't hurt, and it's very affordable. And like I said, I wanted to stress this out to you guys again because you may not pick that part up that me and Steve were talking about. If there's like 4 different accounts that you have and there's one of those accounts you might have been late or something on 1 month, you don't have to connect that account, so it's not going to affect your score and stuff. You definitely want to make sure that you're only connecting ones that you have the positive history. And you said how far back is it going to pull? Say you have a power bill
up to 24 months.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So if you had an account, the last 24 months and you're late, say a couple of times, then obviously use that at your own risk if you're going to, attach it, but you probably shouldn't. But then if you have 3 other ones that you have all, on time payments, then definitely attach those. And the best thing you do is set things to auto pay. A lot of people don't realize that, but just set things to auto pay, and have a separate bank account that you put all your funds in that, that, your cell phone or, a budget just for that, just so, that helps. I mean, we're here, Steve, myself, others, we're all here to try to help you succeed. Credit is not that hard to achieve. I'll tell you, I started off with American Express in August, and I have the Centurion Black card, and that's an invite-only card. And honestly, I didn't have great credit, not really bad credit, and like Steve was just saying, for those that didn't have much credit. I've been spending a lot of time in the last 12 years in the Philippines, so I didn't really have a whole lot of personal credit. So something like this would have helped me out because I did have utilities in the states that I've been paying and stuff. So this would be perfect, So this is really for anybody, not just building business credit. So sorry, Steve, going on a rant there. I just wanted to really emphasize that,
Yeah, that's great.
So the link will be in the description below. Any closing words there, Steve?
No, just, you can get anything you want to know is at eCredable.com. So we're here to help.
Okay. And you guys don't get this confused with the business product they offer. We're going to do another video, updated video for the business side that will be launched, probably simultaneously here shortly as well on the Get Business Credit page. So with all that being said, you guys take care. Make sure you hit subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. We have a lot of content, new personal credit content coming out. And check the link in the description below to sign up for this service. I know I personally am. I already signed up for the business one just to test it out. Everything that I put out and promote, 90% of what I promote, I used myself, so yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys take care. Give this video a thumbs up, and until next time, you guys take care. Thank you guys so much for watching on Credit Josh.